everybody, my name is Miss Alyna and this is the first meeting of the Creative Artists Club. So today we are going to make a flower together, and you will have gone home with a few supplies in a bag that you can use to make this flower. So those supplies will include 2 strips of purple paper, 2 big sheets of green paper, and a wooden pole. And we will use all those to make this flower right here. So the supplies that you'll need to have at home are scissors and some glue. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to take one of our sheets of green paper and we are going to take our wooden pole. And what we're going to do is apply glue to the edge of this paper, and we want it to cover the entire edge. You need lots and lots of glue on there to really make it stick. So you should be able to see a lot of glue in the corner. And then we take our pole and we begin to glue that corner to the middle of this pole, just like I'm doing here. And we wrap it around, but we continue to hold a lot of pressure on it to make sure it stays. And eventually we want to wrap the entire piece of green paper around our wooden pole. The reason we want to do this is because the stems of flowers are often green and we want it to look like a real flower. So we continue to add glue to our paper, just like this. And as we do that, we roll more and more of our pole up in the paper. And when we come to a part where we no longer have any glue, we just add more glue. And we roll some more. And we continue doing this and adding more glue until we arrive at the very end. And now that we've done that, we have a sturdy stem for our flower to go on. So you should have something that looks just about like this. You can add really a lot of glue at the end there to seal it off. Okay, so now that you have this, you can set it aside. The next thing we're going to work on are the little petals that are coming off the flower. So we are going to take one of our purple strips and we are going to fold it in half, long ways, like a hot dog. So that it looks like this. And then we are going to take those edges and we are going to glue them together. But we're only going to put glue on the very edge. And I will show you how far we put the glue, because we're going to want to make some cuts in this paper and we don't want to make that difficult by having glued it too far. So as you can see, there's only glue on the very edge here. And then I'm going to fold it back over and really press the edge. And so now we're working with something that looks like this. So we want to make this look more like the petals that are coming off of this flower here. And how we're going to do that is we're going to take our scissors and we are going to cut little lines directly next to each other along the edge. We're not going to have them go all the way to the end because we don't want to be cutting off the pieces of paper. We want them to stay on our strip. But we're just going to cut lines like this along the edge of our flower. So this is what it looks like about halfway done, and as you can see, there's a lot of little strips cut out. Let's finish this up. Okay, so now we have something that looks like this. Now we want this to end up on this, and we want it to fan out so that it looks like a million little petals are coming off. So what we're going to do is we're first going to take our purple strip, and we are going to line this edge right here, just along the outer edge. Not the side that's folded in, the side that we glued. We're going to put glue down that edge. So let's start by doing that. And you really want to put a lot of glue on there because you really want it to stick. So we take this and we put it at an angle like this, and we stick it to our stem. And then we begin to roll it around the stem. So as you see, I am rolling it around and going a little bit farther down each time I roll it. And just keep going and keep going and keep going. And eventually you'll get to the bottom and you'll have something that looks like this. Now, there's an extra strip so that if you want your flower to be a little longer, you can repeat the same exact steps, except start at the bottom of where the other petals end, and you can have more petals going down your flower. So that is what this extra piece is for, and feel free to use it if you want a little more full of a flower, one that looks more like this. But now we're going to move on to making the leaves. So in your kit, you should have gotten a leaf picture like this. You can cut out that leaf picture, and then on your remaining piece of green paper, you can trace out that leaf. And this will help you if you aren't confident with drawing leaves yet, but if you want to draw your own leaves, you're perfectly fine doing that too. So once you've traced it out, you can then cut your leaves with your scissors. And I'm using 2 leaves, but you can use as many leaves as you want. It's completely up to you. It's your flower. So now that we're working with 2 leaves, we're going to take one of them, and on the bottom, probably up to about this point, we are going to put glue. And then we are going to take our flower, stick the leaf up, stick it on there, and roll it around until we get to the end of the glue. We might want to hold it for a moment to make sure that it stays. But then we have our leaf. And we can start on our second leaf, and we repeat the same steps. Put glue on the bottom, and begin to wrap it around our flower. And now we've got our flower with 2 leaves. So I encourage you at home, if you have different paper you want to use, go ahead. If you want to draw your own leaves, go ahead. If you don't want the stem to be green and you have orange paper at home, go ahead. This is your art project, and you don't have to make it look just like a tree that you would see in the, or a flower you would see in the forest. I want to see your creativity, and I'd love to see you share what you make in the comments. So thank you so much for coming to the first Creative Artist Club, and if you have any ideas of what you want to work on in the future, please let me know. Thank you guys. I'm excited to see what you make.